Thursday night game, Buffalo Bills 31, Miami Dolphins 21. Josh Allen again, looking pretty solid, for the third week in a row, looking solid. I think he had 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. And what they did say that he became the fastest player in NFL history to reach 300 total touchdowns. So that's impressive for Josh Allen there, reigning MVP of the league. What could you say? James Cook, I think, had another solid 100-plus yard rushing game. And like you like to say, Tua being Tua. But what's your take on this game, man? What you saw?
I mean, I'll start with the Bills, right? Josh Allen just continuing the high level play from last season, from last week. The guy he's shown himself right now to be really probably the top quarterback in the league. I think 1A, 1B between him and Lamar Jackson. What really surprised me in all of this, not that he's performing well, but the consistency in which he is performing well. I had a thought that maybe after he got paid that the production would have dropped, or he wouldn't be as consistent, or some sort of an injury would have popped up. I know this is just the first, the third week in the season, and we got a lot more games to play, and anything can happen. But pleasantly surprised by his consistency and how he's performing from the running game perspective, giving Josh Allen that needed balance to keep the defense on their toes. So it frees Josh up to do what he's doing from the passing game perspective. So I think that's a really, really good 1-2 punch between those two, the Dolphins. So their performance was admirable. One would go out and say, moral victory. They played better than expected. Everybody expected this to be a blowout, and
Yeah.
I must admit that they did fight. They fought collectively as a team. But I still got to say that the Achilles heel right now is Tua. Tua's the Achilles heel. And people may say, oh, he played good or he played well. He only threw for 146 yards. You have Waddle and Hill, who are probably the fastest wide receiver tandem in the league, those two. And you can only throw for 146 yards. Yeah, you got 2 touchdowns. You should be able to get 2 touchdowns with that offense. That doesn't impress me. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't move the needle at all in terms of my expectations. But when it came down to pulling it out and doing what needs to be done to win the game, you got the drive coming up on 2 minutes. You're in a position to be able to tie things up to either get it to overtime or get another critical stop and then win the game with a field goal. And you throw a pick, and it was a horrible pick. It was a horrible pick.
Yeah.
So Tua, the thing is with Tua, Lynx, is that, and he said it himself. He talked about all of the intangibles that Josh Allen has that he doesn't have, and these are a lot of the things that I use as an indictment on him, right? Because he's not, like, from a physical perspective, it doesn't blow you away, right? He doesn't do anything that is above the ordinary from a physical trait perspective. However, he's supremely accurate, and when he was on, he would throw with anticipation. The throwing with anticipation part, that for some reason that is gone. Like, he doesn't do that anymore. And when you have an arm like his where it's not powerful, he can't really drive it in there, fit it into tight windows. Like, his arm cannot compensate for any timing mistakes. So if he's not throwing with anticipation, if he's waiting for the receiver to actually get open, the ball is going to get batted down or picked. So I don't know what's causing this. I don't know what has changed. He still has Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator. The scheme hasn't changed. There's some protection issues that he is going through as well. But for the most part, you asked for that money. The market was the market. You got paid. When a quarterback gets paid, then what's going to happen is you're going to see the peripherals around you is going to diminish. It hasn't diminished that much. He still has Tyreek Hill. He still has Jalen Waddle. They got paid too.
Yeah.
So everything else you got to be able to compensate for. There's no more room to bring enhancement to the team to help make you better. You got paid to overcome those deficiencies, and he's not doing it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, right? But I'm going to give Tua the benefit of the doubt here because, when you look at Mike McDaniel, right? I know you said, okay, the scheme hasn't changed. Everything should still be the same. You got the two receivers, right? All of that is in place. But I don't believe in Mike McDaniel. I mean, right, I think from a Tua perspective, you got to look at it like this. He's had multiple concussions. He doesn't want to get hit. I see that he's still taking off and running. He doesn't want to get hit again because he knows what can happen. But I'm going back and I'm pinpointing this. I'm giving this to Mike McDaniel because when I look at it, when I look at this, I see the scheme is the same and everything's the same, but you got to mix it up. I mean, are you really? I mean, you got two of the most talented receivers in the league, and you are telling me that the routes that I see these guys running, right? I mean, I know Tyreek coming on, they trying to get him open, but I mean, it looks to me, it just looks bland. It looks like, we just lining Tyreek up and he just running some routes. We lining Waddle up and he just running some routes. I don't know if Mike McDaniel kind of scaled things down a little bit because Tua had these concussions. I don't know what it is, but it does look different. I mean, I think you could agree that it does look different. And I think maybe Mike McDaniel might have taken something out of the playbook. I don't know, concussion. I don't know what it is, but I put this on Mike McDaniel. I don't put this on Tua, man. I think Tua, like you said, is accurate. This is an accurate quarterback. What could have drastically changed in the last year that really threw this whole thing off the reels? And I'm pinpointing this on Mike McDaniel.
Couple of things, and that's an interesting perspective. And I'll touch on the whole changing part and maybe having something to possibly do with Tua's concussion. I'll hit that last. But I think it's important to note that Mike McDaniel is probably the only coach that believes in Tua. We saw what happened with the coach before Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, yeah.
We saw how that relationship went. He wanted no parts of Tua, even though the organization wanted Tua. Okay? I don't think there's any other coach that's going to come in and try to salvage Tua, especially with the injury history. There's no way. Right? Especially if it's an offensive-minded head coach. Maybe if it's a defensive-minded head coach, maybe. And again, that didn't go well the last time.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So that's one. But with Mike McDaniel changing the offense to compensate for Tua, to minimize him getting hit or to lessen the risk of him getting injury, if that is the case, that's still on Tua. So you mean to tell me you're so frail, right? And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I mean, we all know, everybody knows he's one hit away.
Yeah.
He's one hit away.
Yeah.
We've seen the tape. We've seen the concussion. We've seen what happened on the field twice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So you have to be so delicate with him that you got to change the offense to compensate for that. That diminishes Mike McDaniel as a head coach to craft up plays that he otherwise would work with any other quarterback that would know how to run it. That's on Tua.
Yeah. Yeah. He's putting it. I think Mike McDaniel is a great guy. This is just my opinion. I don't know him personally, anything like this. This is just my opinion. Watching from the outside, looking from the outside. I think Mike McDaniel is one of these guys that he believes, like you said, he believes in Tua so much, he would jeopardize his own job for Tua. Because what I see he's doing is, he's wanting him to succeed because he know what he's gone through. Like you said, he's one hit away, and he know what this kid has gone through. So he's like, you know what? Let me do whatever I can to help this kid out. He's one that it would be the detriment of him, because people in Miami are talking about the coach possibly being fired at the end of the year if this continues. You 0-3 at this point. He's doing it, I believe, like I said, it's just my opinion, because he believes in Tua and he wants to see him succeed, but it's going to be, unfortunately, at his detriment, because if it continues in this path, I don't see how he could keep his job if it continues like this.
I can't recall ever hearing about an NFL, a great NFL coach, a great NFL coach, a coach that's out there winning Super Bowls, being consistently successful, and the adjective used for them is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That's not going to work.
It don't work. Yeah,
That's not going to work. If you, I don't know if you watched the Cowboys documentary, and because there was some things about Jimmy Johnson that I didn't even know about.
yeah. I didn't
And
watch
that
that.
man divorced his wife. He divorced his wife because yeah, yeah. Like it was football, it was the Cowboys or nothing. And if you didn't have that same mentality, this dude said he would talk to other coaches, and he said other coaches would always say about how the hardest thing for them to do, like the cutting time, he said that was always the most difficult part of the process,
Yeah,
right? He said not for him. Well, he said cutting. He said that was easy because if you weren't on his mission, if you
yeah,
didn't live and breathe and die for whatever to win for the Cowboys, you were out.
yeah, yeah,
You were out. So going back to Mike McDaniel,
yeah,
he is a nice guy,
yeah,
but that's not going
yeah,
to cut it. I don't think he's a great head coach.
yeah,
He can come up with some good plays. He can get on the podium. He has some nice, quick-witted comments and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure he's extremely intelligent.
yeah,
But as a head coach in the NFL, you got to be a leader of men. You got to be able to have the difficult conversations. You got to do what needs to be done for the betterment of the rest of the team, not just for one individual.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You definitely, when you're in that kind of position, you just gotta go with it, man. Because the name of the game is you're getting paid millions of dollars. The name of the game is you gotta win, and you gotta do whatever it takes to win. I could see Mike McDaniel maybe being a head coach, is not in his realm. I mean, he was doing good before, but maybe he needs to stick to offensive coordinator because from what I understand, he never played football before, but he's been around football like almost his whole life because I think his dad or somebody was a coach or something like that. But he wasn't interested in football at first, and then was on the sideline and like got really really interested in football, and then he just immersed himself in this and became you know this wizard for on the offensive side of the game, and so really just immersed himself in that, and then went on to college and started an assistant coach and went from there. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I
But
think
one more, like, because if going back to the whole that whole nice thing too, right?
yeah,
If Sean McVay operated like that, nice,
yeah,
we would have never got Stafford. Right. And you saw what we gave because he would have been too caught up in the emotion of the other player.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
If he was concerned about being nice, we wouldn't have gotten Devontae Adams because he would have been caught up in, Cooper Cup. He's been with the team and he's done this for us. And how could you do that? And you saw that affected me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
we got rid of Cup.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
rid of Cup. Like,
yeah,
how could you do that?
yeah,
Sean McVay was like, this is what's best for the team.
yeah.
Mike McDaniels, I just don't see that in him.
Yeah, 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 and that's why they are where they are right now. That's where they are. So yeah, all right. So all right, man. So let's jump into a couple of these games, man. Well, all of the games that's coming up here. First one I got on my list is Tennessee Titans against the Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones has been looking good. I was I was watching ESPN the other day, and they actually said, who was it? Was it Ryan Clark that said he thinks that Daniel Jones is actually playing the best in the NFL right now at the quarterback position? I think it was a little far fetched. He's playing good. I'm still putting Josh Allen and Lamar there, but with Daniel Jones, I mean, he's very efficient. He's playing very efficient, playing really really good. Who's there? Our former Eagles guy. Who is it? Steichen.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Shane Steichen is there, which was the Eagles' offensive coordinator a couple of years ago, and I think he's just in the right spot. And so I think with this one, Tennessee Titans, you got Cam Ward. I definitely have to go with. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts in this game. I think Daniel Jones continues his hot streak, and they get the win.
Yeah, I'm going with Indianapolis as well. Like I'm this close now to being like just all in on Indianapolis. And what I mean by that is if I see them with a matchup with a team that they should win, I'm not even going to bat an eye. They're going to win it. That's going to be my call for them because the way that they've been playing the past 2 weeks, the efficiency, the discipline that they're showing on both sides of the ball, I do tend to agree with the play of Daniel Jones. It's up there with Josh and Lamar. It is up there, right? This for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Yeah, I got
For
you.
two
I got
weeks,
you.
these
Yeah.
past 2 weeks, he's been playing. I'm not talking about in terms of style points. I'm talking about running the offense, getting the teams in scoring positions, scoring touchdowns, being efficient, high quarterback play, completion percentage in the 70s, quarterback rate over, in triple digits, right? So he's playing really good ball.
Yeah.
So for this game, Tennessee, they're still trying to get their footing. I'm still a believer in Cam Ward in the future. He's going to be a really good player. Doesn't have all the pieces around him just yet. They're incrementally getting better week over week, but I don't think they're going to be able to overcome the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Next game, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. The Patriots trying to correct things on both sides of the ball. The Steelers are going to test their running game. And this one, I am going to go, unfortunately, I think I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I think old man, and when I reference old man, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. I think, he's not going to light it up by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to be who he's going to be. He's going to be just good enough for them to beat the Patriots. So I got to go with Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
I'm actually going to go with New England, and I'm not looking at it as any kind of a big upset. I think the teams are pretty equal, but the Pittsburgh Steelers defense have been very disappointing the past couple of weeks. They have not been able to stop the run, and New England, I think they have a really good running game with Stevenson and Henderson in the backfield. I think they're going to lean on that and keep it close and probably pull it out. And they're playing at home too.
Yeah, man.
But I'll go with New England on this one.
Okay. All right. So next one, the Jets at the Buccaneers. What you got on this one?
Jets and Bucks.
Yeah.
Jets are not going to have Fields, right? Fields is out.
No, yeah, Fields is out.
Yeah, Bucks going to take it.
Yeah.
I think Bucks, they're a top 3 team in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
Well, top 4.
Yeah.
Top 4. I gotta put Detroit back up in there, right? So I think the Bucks are gonna go in there. I think the Bucks.
Yeah.
And I don't think not going. I think they're playing at home, right?
Yeah, they are.
I don't. Who's gonna be the quarterback for the Jets? Tyrod Taylor, right?
Tyrod. Yes. Yeah.
That doesn't. No, I like Tyrod. He's a journeyman. I thought he had a lot of potential in his younger days, but I don't think the way that offense is built and so heavily predicated off of the run game and the legs of the quarterback that's pulling the trigger. I don't think Tyrod has enough juice to sustain that to beat the Bucks, and that Bucks defense is vicious.
Yeah.
So I think the Bucks are going to win.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm going with the Bucks. I just think Baker Mayfield is playing really, really well. The offense is just clicking, and they don't even have all their receivers. And they are looking good on offense. You can't really count Baker out, which is surprising, man. Baker Mayfield after coming from Cleveland, and I mean, it's just killing me how he's playing, but he's playing really well. He's on a team that fits his style, and they are making it happen. And so, yeah, I definitely got to go with the Buccaneers with the Jets. Real quick on that, with Justin Fields being out, what's going to happen is I think Tyrod is going to play well. However, he always, when I've seen him play, he always makes some mistake, at a key time, and it just it falls apart. So I think the same thing is going to happen. So yeah, I'm with you on the Bucks. All right, this next one, the Raiders at the Commanders. This one is going to be interesting because from what I understand, Jaden Daniels will not be playing. And who's their backup?
Marcus Mariota.
I'm going with the Raiders. That's all you have to say. I'm going with the Raiders. I forgot Mariota was there. Yeah. I'm going with the Raiders in this one, man. Yeah.
Mariota's the backup. The Commanders, their offense is so one-sided. And what I mean by one-sided, it's so heavily predicated off of the play of Jaden Daniels. There's no one else on that offense. It kind of reminds me of Mahomes right now, right? There's no one else other than him that can elevate that team or keep that team at a consistent, like at a winning pace. And because of that, I think the Raiders are going to win. Not because I think the Raiders are some awesome team, but I think it's just because of the fact that the Commanders are going to be so deficient without Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. I wanted to ask
And I
you.
believe the Raiders are gonna feed Ashton Genty more this game as well.
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to ask you a question on that, on Ashton Genty. Okay, I was watching First Take, and Ryan Clark is like, he's not high on Ashton Genty. What he was
Hmm.
saying was, because Ashton Genty was complaining that he need to get the ball more. I need to get the rock. And he was like, how this young man could be complaining after 2 weeks? He said he does not see, and he said even at Boise State, he did not see. He said Ashton Genty would run into guys in at Boise State and in the college level, and they would give up. He said now these are grown men, buddy, and it's not happening. Like, if so, they were showing some clips, and I hadn't watched Ashton Genty, in the pros yet, but they were showing some clips, and I mean, a bounce here, a bounce there, but he doesn't have the, what Ryan Clark was saying was, when he saw like LaDainian Tomlinson early on when he was a rookie. Of course, you want a losing team, you get picked first. But he said when he made that first cut or that first step, it was boom, gone. He said he don't see that from Ashton Genty. He doesn't see like this top running back from Ashton Genty. So he said if you look at it, the film, he said on all of his carries, the majority of them, he's going down after this hit. So he's like, something's missing with this young man. He say he's not seeing it and he don't know what it is. And he said he thinks Ashton Genty is not a big time running back. Like how a LaDainian Tomlinson or a Saquon Barkley or somebody like that, even though they were on bad teams when they got drafted, right? So the offensive line could be shot, but you could see something in them like, oh, this kid got something. And he say he just don't see that with Ashton Genty. I want to ask you about that.
I don't know what Ryan Clark is seeing, and Ryan Clark he studies this stuff, so I got to take him at his word that he's seeing, that his eyes is showing him what he's saying. But Ashton Genty kind of reminds me of, I just had his name, the Saints running back
Alvin.
Kamara, right? He kind of reminds me of Kamara. He's not going to run you over. He's not going to run you over. He's not that type of a back. What he has is excellent contact balance, where when you make contact with him, he's able to continue to stay upright and get the extra yards. The problem with the Raiders is that the offensive line is horrible. I think he's gotten hit behind the line of scrimmage more than any other running back so far. And so if what Ryan is saying is that Ashton Genty hasn't been able to make extra yards after getting hit numerous times behind the line of scrimmage, then that's probably not his game. Maybe they being the Raiders, they need to scheme it up or add personnel to where at least he's getting to the line of scrimmage before getting hit. So he can, because some running backs, they need to build up a little bit of momentum as when they get the ball. So I'm gonna look at the game. I'm gonna pay a little bit closer attention to him to see if what Ryan is saying is spot on, which I'm not doubting it. I just think right now there's a little bit of a fit incompatibility with him and the Raiders, and the Raiders need to do with their due diligence to kind of craft the offense more so around Genty's skill set. Case in point, and I'm going to go a little bit further back on this with what's his name, Eric Dickerson with the Rams. Way
Yeah.
back in the everybody knows how great he was as a runner, 2,100 yards in a season, right? When he went to the Raiders changed the offense and they put him in a pro style offense instead of an I back offense. And what Eric was saying, Eric was like, this is not my style. Like, I need you to run this play for me. If you can run this play for me, I forgot the name of it. He said, I can get you 100 yards a game. But if you put me in this pro style offense, I'm not going to be as effective. And he was right. Like he did not have a good showing when he was with the Raiders because they didn't make the adjustment. Some running backs, a lot of running backs, even Barry Sanders was like this. You got to put them in an offense that fits their skill set.
Yeah.
Barry was in a single back skill set. You couldn't put Barry in an I back. You couldn't put him in a pro style. You got to put him single back and give him room to maneuver so that he can pick his spots.
Yeah.
So I put this on the Raiders. The Raiders need to figure this out. They need to get him the ball because I mean he has talent. he can make plays if you give him the ball in space. So I think it's more of a scheme, a Chip Kelly
Chip
situation
Kelly.
than than Ashton Jensen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I know they brought that up, so I was like, oh, I want to ask you about that. So, that's
No,
definitely
it's
something.
good to yeah, that's a good topic. I mean, you're gonna have varying perspectives on it, depending on what your expectations are. Again, Ryan is a player, right? He
Yeah,
played the
yeah,
game. It's so funny he brought up LaDainian Tomlinson. Of course, he's going to respect him. LaDainian Tomlinson was the running back that planted him in the ground, right, on that long run to win the
yeah,
game in overtime. So
yeah.
this when Ryan was with the Washington at the time.
Right, right.
But yeah, I think if you're trying to compare Ashton to LaDainian, that's not him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson. He's not Saquon Barkley. He's more in the Alvin Kamara type of mold.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I want to look at it too and see what is what. So, all right.
Mhm.
Next game we got the Falcons at the Panthers. I'm going with the Falcons in this one. I think again this is a division game. You know, it could be close, but the Panthers just I'm not seeing anything there, and I think the Falcons Penix. You got all the weapons on offense. Their defense is playing phenomenal. So yeah, I'm going with the Falcons in this one.
Yeah, nothing much to be said here. I think Falcons is going to take it. Everything you just said about Penix, the Falcons defense, I think all of that's going to, bears true. Unless Carolina has some sort of epiphany and they figure it out with Bryce Young. Because they did it at the end of last season. End of last
They
season,
did.
it
Yeah,
seemed like they were turning it around.
yeah.
And you expect that to kind of, come into the beginning of this season. And that didn't happen. So the hope is they figure it out again and Bryce gets going. Maybe they're like Cincinnati where they're slow starters. They start the season slow. Maybe that's the case. But I still believe Bryce Young is a good quarterback, not great, good quarterback. I don't think he should be benched. I don't think he should lose his job. I think they need to continue to work with him and figure this out. But they're not going to win this game against the Falcons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Next one, I got the Cincinnati Bengals against going to the Minnesota Vikings. What's your take on this one?
The game of the backups, right? So you got
Yeah.
Browning against Wentz.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I wish Doc was here. Doc should have had something to say about this one.
Yeah. I
But
know.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals getting their first loss. So the Vikings are gonna win. I think I trust Wentz over Browning.
Boy, let me tell you, I'm going with the Bengals all day. I'm going with the Bengals all day. I do. I do not trust Carson Wentz at all. You got these two dangerous offenses here. But again, like you said, the backups are playing. I'm going with Browning, man. I just cannot trust Carson Wentz. That's just the bottom line. So I'm going with the Bengals.
I think Brian Flores is gonna give Browning fits.
I could see that. I could see that happening. But I think Carson Wentz going to give the ball to the Bengals.
Come on, Bengals don't even have a good defense.
Man, so all right, next game we got the Houston Texans traveling to Jacksonville for the Jaguars. You know, again, I always bring this up with the Texans. You know, D'Amico Ryans and him being a head coach. I think they get off the snide, man. I think they get off the snide. They win their first game in Jacksonville. I think that their defense is solid. I just need them to give C.J. Stroud a little bit more time to really let the receivers. Nico Collins has been okay. He hadn't had this breakout game yet. I think this is where he breaks out. And so I'm going with the Houston Texans in this one.
This is a must-win game for the Texans. They got to win this game. I think they're gonna pull it out by the skin of their teeth. The offensive line, you said they need to give Stroud, CJ Stroud more time. The line is what it is. It is what it is. Like there's no one coming in that's going to help that line get any better this season. And so they're in a bad spot. They're going to have to, well, in a couple of weeks, they do have Joe Mixon coming back.
Okay, yeah,
Maybe that's going to help in the running game. Maybe. But this game, they still don't have him. It's going to be a tight one. I think they're going to pull it out, but boy, they're in for a long season.
yeah, yeah. They need it. They need it bad. All right. In this next game, you have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Cleveland, and they're at the Browns. So, from what I understand, Judkins is going to be starting. They're giving him the reins in Cleveland. You still got another old quarterback there in Cleveland, Joe Flacco, that is there. I think eventually, I think after this game, after they lose to the Packers, I'm going with the Packers. After they lose to the Packers, they're going to turn it over to Dylan Gabriel, and then he's gonna run it from there. So I'm going with the Packers in this game over the Browns.
Boy, I don't care who come in. Judkins, I don't care what running back they get coming in. There ain't nobody going to save them against the Packers, right? So the Packers are they're gonna blow them out. This
Yeah,
this is this this is an easy one.
yeah, man. All right. So next one, we got the Broncos at the Chargers. So this could be, this is gonna come down to who makes the big plays at the end. All right. You got the Broncos. Their defense hadn't been playing that well. They were supposed to be. They were touted as this good defense. Hadn't been playing that well this season. I'm beginning to look at the Chargers in a different light because of what's our quarterback name?
Herbert,
Herbert, yes,
Justin.
because of Justin Herbert, yeah, and so I got to go with the Chargers, man. I think Herbert is going to continue to play. I think he's going to light up the Broncos defense, which hadn't been really performing. So I'm going with the Chargers in this one.
So the Broncos, they really should have been 2-0. They had that mishap that happened against the Colts last week that gave the Colts another chance to kick a field goal and win the game. But there's still something about the Broncos that I can't put my finger on it, but they don't seem to be clicking. They seem to be making a lot of silly mistakes, a lot of errors, and they're not as on the ball as they should be. They came into the season touted as having the best defense, and the defense hasn't really been showing it hasn't been as elite as we expected it to be. I think the Chargers are going to win this. I think the Chargers, because the Chargers defense is actually, they're outperforming what we expected for them. And of course, you have Justin Herbert. He's moving that offense like a well-oiled machine. I think they're going to pull this one out. I'm not a big believer in Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Never was. I think that's going to get figured out at some point. He's playing okay, but
yeah.
I'm not high on him. So I think the Chargers are going to win this one.
Let me ask you one question on this. Was Bo Nix the pick for the head coach,
Sean Payton,
Sean Payton? Did Sean Payton pick Bo Nix?
he picked him, right? If Sean Payton didn't pick Bo Nix 2 years ago in that draft, I would go out on a limb and say Bo Nix wouldn't have been a first round pick. He would have been a
Yeah,
second round or third round. Definitely
right.
probably a second round. But, I mean,
Yeah,
definitely a third round. Sean Payton, he wanted
he
Bo Nix
had
because
picked him.
he saw Drew Brees type traits in him,
Yeah,
and he runs the offense well. He
yeah.
runs the offense well. He's not Drew Brees.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. In this next game, we got the Saints at the Seahawks, and the Saints again turn it into the Aints, and I don't really see anything going on there with the Saints. I think the Seahawks got this. I think it's the Saints running game. Alvin Kamara play action could come into play with this, but the Saints, they don't have, there's nothing happening. I got to go with the Seahawks in this one.
I agree. Seahawks are going to win. They're at home. They got the 12th man. The Saints don't have enough firepower, I think, to pull this one out. Spencer Rattler has been playing pretty good
Yeah,
ball.
yeah,
He has been playing pretty good ball. The Saints defense has been okay, but they're still winless, right?
yeah. They hadn't won
They're
anything.
0-2.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Seahawks are going to win this one.
yeah, yeah. All right. This next one, this is a division game, I think. Cardinals at the 49ers.
It is.
Okay, yeah. So, what's your take on this one? This your division?
Yeah, they're both 2-0. Niners are home. Yeah, Niners are home. Matt Jones played pretty good last week. I don't know. I have a sneaky feeling, and all emotions aside, you know how I feel about the Niners, right? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a sneaky feeling the Cardinals are going to pull this one out.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Only because I think I still, even though Matt Jones had that good game, and we know Kyle Shanahan, he's a quarterback whisperer. I just think Arizona has more firepower. I think with Kyler Murray, I think they're going to be able to pull this one out.
Yeah. Is Brock Purdy playing? Do you know?
No, that's what I'm saying. Matt Jones. Matt Jones, I think,
Oh
is
yeah,
still
Mike
playing
Jones is
this one.
playing. Mike Jones is playing. Yeah. With that being the case, I definitely have to go with the Cardinals as well. I think they say the 49ers are heavy favorites in this game from what I'm seeing.
Is he
Um,
playing?
I that's why I wanted to find out if because I know they said it was up in the air if he was going to play, and they say 49ers are heavy favorites, and how could they be heavy favorites if he's not playing?
Well, I'm looking at the injury report. I don't see Purdy.
He might be playing then.
Okay, if Purdy plays,
Yeah.
I'm going with the Niners.
Yeah, yeah. That I
Yeah.
mean that's what I was looking at. It was going to be the quarterback play for sure because I know Kyler Murray is solid, and I'm with you on this one. If Brock Purdy plays, yeah, I got to go with the Niners on it. Yeah. All right. The next game we got the Cowboys at the Chicago Bears. In this one, yeah, I think the Bears just gonna keep slipping. Unfortunately, it may be closer than expected, but unfortunately, man, I think the Cowboys. Dak has been playing pretty good, at quarterback. So
Say that
and
again.
yeah, I can't even repeat that. I can't even repeat that. They're gonna have to go to the recording for this one, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the Cowboys in this game.
Yeah. I think the Cowboys are going to pull this one out. Cowboys, they're well coached. They're efficient with their plays. They are minimizing a lot of mistakes. All of the things that the Bears are not doing on their end, and those are the things that causes the game for the Bears. It's not that I think Cowboys are a much better team than Chicago. I just think that right now they're just operating better with their plays on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, yeah, and the reason why I say it's gonna be close is because it's gonna be in Chicago.
Mhm.
And so, and that's outside. No, it's still going to be nice weather. But yeah, yeah. I think the Bears. But one thing on this is if Ben Johnson goes 0-3 and the Bears don't look good at QB, Caleb Williams doesn't look good. You're going to start hearing some rumblings about some changes happening at that QB spot. That's what I think.
Mhm.
Because Ben Johnson is not going to want to go 0-3. So that's why I think it's going to be closer than expected. Yeah. So in the next game, we got the winless Kansas City Chiefs going up against the traveling to New York to see the Giants. Boy, if the Chiefs go 0-3, boy, that would be a day. But I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, I don't see the Chiefs going 0-3. I don't see Andy Reid. It's been a long time since an Andy Reid team has started 0-3, and the Giants. The Giants are the Giants. And so I think the Chiefs got this one. I think Patrick Mahomes. They figure out a way. It's going to be some phantom Patrick Mahomes push out of bounds penalty or something that give them 15 yards and they something. So the Chiefs going to win this one.
You think they need a phantom call to win against the Giants?
They're going to need
That's
a
funny.
phantom, man.
Well, Mahomes has never gone 0-3.
Yeah,
He's never gone 0-3. And
yeah.
I believe he had never gone 0-2 to that fact. This is the game of the winless teams. Both of them are winless,
That's
right? You
right.
got the winless Chiefs against the winless Giants, and I mean, who would have thought? But yeah, Chiefs, I think Chiefs are going to pull this one. They're going to win this game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So this is the Monday night game. We got the Lions at the Ravens. This is a good game. I'm definitely going to be tuned into this one because the Lions, week one didn't look good. Week two, they flipped the script. And then the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, apart from that week one against the Bills where they pretty much beat the Bills up the whole game and then still found a way to lose. But the Ravens just look too good. The Lions still, the jury's still out for me on the Lions. I got to see them again. But I think this is going to be a pretty good game, an entertaining game. But I think the Ravens just got this.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to win due to the fact that historically these two teams, these two clubs, with these two quarterbacks and coaches, Ravens they've always gotten the better they've gotten the better of the Lions in the past. I don't see anything on both sides that would make me think it would be any different. Again, not downing the Lions. They showed a lot. They definitely proved me wrong last week. So I have them as an upper echelon type of team in the NFC, but I just don't think they match up well against the Ravens. So I think the Ravens they're gonna win this game.
Gotcha. All right. And finally, man, the game of the week, at least for me and you, it's your
It's the game of
Rams.
the week.
The
The game
yeah,
of the week.
this is the game of the week.
Yeah, this is the game
Yes,
of the week.
your Rams against my Eagles. This was like the toughest game for the Eagles in our run last year to the Super Bowl. And it's not snowing. There ain't nothing going on. Nothing going to be on the ground. Good weather. Everything is going to be both teams 2-0. And I think this game is going to set the tone for the NFC as some of the top teams. And don't get me wrong. I think either way, the winner or the loser in this game, they still well in it, right? And but what it's going to do is it's going to set the tone on, okay, the winner of this game is going to say, they're going to be like, okay, we the juggernauts, right? You could just make a mental notch in your head. You don't have to pat yourself on the back, but the winner of this game is definitely going to be the team that people are going to be looking at in the NFC. I know people are talking about Green Bay. They're talking about, plus they talk, Detroit could come in there, again. But this is the game right here where I think it's going to determine the top team in the NFC. I don't even have to say who I'm picking in this game. I mean, it is what it is. Fly, Eagles, fly. And I just think the storylines in this game is going to be, I know from last year's playoff matchup that you Rams, man, with the young defense, Matthew Stafford, offense, Puka Nacua, it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the means. But, obviously, Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game.
Obviously not. Before I get into it, right?
Yeah.
I'm shocked that this isn't a primetime game.
That's what I'm saying.
I am shocked that this is a primetime game. I don't know. I think they messed this one up because
they missed it.
Sunday night, the Chiefs and the Giants. Sunday night.
Yes, right. That's.
I mean, this should have at least been a Sunday night game.
I'm saying,
right?
Yes.
I get the Lions and the Ravens for Monday night. That's a good matchup. I'm not poo-pooing on that one like that. That's actually, but our game could have also been a Monday night game.
Absolutely.
So for this just to be a regular 1:00, like I'm shocked. I'm surprised. But that aside, Rams coming up in Philly and they can be stomping a mud hole in the Eagles, man. Rams are going to win this game. I mean, have you heard any? You heard anything from Jared Verse this week?
I hadn't heard anything from Verse.
No. He's been quiet, isn't he?
He's been quiet.
Yeah, he's been quiet. He's been quiet. Yeah, everyone's locked in.
Yeah,
everyone's locked in.
Yeah.
Right. This is a big one. You talked about the snow last week. I mean, not last week, last year. Look, Saquon Barkley. Remember, we played you guys twice last year, and he ran for over 200 yards on both games. So he didn't need the snow. He didn't need assistance to run all over us. I give him that. Mind you, 3 or 4 of those runs, they constituted more than 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of the yards that he accumulated.
Yeah.
He ran for over 500 yards in those 2 games on us. I think the emphasis of this game for the Rams is going to be one, of course, to stop Saquon Barkley. It's going to be force Jalen Hurts to throw, win the game. Not saying that Jalen Hurts can't throw. You know how I feel about Jalen Hurts. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I think they put in the right position and they scheme the calls the right way. He could light you up. He has 2 awesome weapons on the peripherals as well. But I think the Rams, we match up well against you guys. I think our front 4, we only need 4 to rush, to get pressure on you. We don't need to send extra people. We need a robber. We need not a robber, but a spy. We need a spy on Jalen Hurts to stop him when he breaks contain, because he will break contain. And I think we got something for you for that push tush this go around.
Okay.
I think the Rams, I'm going to predict the Rams are going to introduce something.
Okay.
That's going to stop the push tush, and it's going to cascade across the rest of the league.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this one.
And the Rams are going to win. The Rams are going to win.
Just throw that one in. Yeah.
Rams are going to win. Yeah, we're going to win this game.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like the fact of throwing something in there Because after Chris Jones was doing all this crying last week, I definitely
Mm.
want to. I definitely want to see. And like I tell everybody, I said everybody in the league can run it, man. I mean, it's not like it's
Links,
like only the
stop
Eagles
it,
can run it.
stop it, stop it, stop it.
Everybody
No, not
can.
everybody in the league. Not everybody in the league has a quarterback that could squat 600.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
You have to understand, like the thing about this is, and I give all the kudos to this on Jalen Hurts. If you don't have Jalen Hurts, you
Yeah,
can't
that's
run
not.
the tush
That's not
push.
gonna work.
Yeah, you
It's not.
can't do that.
Yeah, it's not gonna
We
work.
can't run the tush push with Matthew Stafford. You crazy?
No, no, no. It's not gonna
No,
work.
no,
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. But yeah, this all of this aside, we know we picking our teams and whatnot. But you know, with you guys coming in with your receivers and your defense and all that, I'm ready, man. I'm excited. I think I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna be traveling, but I will have this on my phone. I will be watching. I think my flight. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back by this time. But by the time the game starts. So yeah, yeah. We'll you look. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If we lose, which I don't think is going to happen, I'll be heartbroken. I'll be heartbroken for a little bit. I know it's not over. The season isn't over.
You won the one that mattered. You won the game that actually mattered. So this shouldn't. Yeah, I'm
you
not
know, you,
win or lose. Like there's so much more games left, man. This
yeah,
season
yeah,
is
yeah.
young, but
But you know what this is? You know what the mindset? What this game is putting me in? This game is putting me in the mindset of when the Eagles were 8-0 2 years ago, and then the San Francisco 49ers came in and just whooped up on them, and we were having offensive coordinator issues like we're having right now with Kevin Patullo, and so it just puts me in that frame of mind. That's where this is putting me. So that's why I'm a little on edge. But you got that going on, but also you got one of the top teams, coming into town again. So with a chip on their shoulder. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm ready for it, man. Ready for it.
well,
Yeah.
I hope Patullo he keeps it up. Keep it up. Keep calling them bad plays. I want a lot of inefficiency on you guys' side. Throw in some penalties, false starts, and illegal motions. All of that.
All that.
All of that. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. For the
I
Eagles.
got you.
For the
I
Eagles.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. We'll see, man. We'll see. We definitely gonna break this one down on Tuesday after that. But yeah, man, that's a good slate of games. Coming
Be a
up
good
this
week.
week. I think it's gonna be real interesting, and we'll jump back on Tuesday and break all of this down, man.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, man.
All
Later.
right.